We want to drive our careers, but do we know how to do it in a sustainable way? Hi, I am Monika Chutnik and I help leaders learn how to lead their international and virtual teams. Together with my team at EdTA Go Global, we make the change happen by means of training, coaching, facilitation, mastermind, action learning, and any other ways. And this podcast, A Step Ahead, has been created for all who want to grow in such an international remote environment, who want to grow as leaders, as HR, as change agents, and simply as humans. I'm inviting you here for discoveries and insights. All recordings and materials are available at www.astepahead.pro. Hi. Today we are going to talk about driving careers, not just any careers, not even ambitious careers, but driving sustainable careers. You might imagine that an ambitious career isn't worth very much if it doesn't end in a happy way. And that's precisely what we are addressing in our conversation today with Marci Macedo. Marci is an amazing guest, a Brazilian woman who moved to Europe with very little starting knowledge of English, and she moved up into a global role in one of the prestigious British companies. I personally appreciate her determination and her sense of purpose. Now, Marci is relating to some of the common experiences that we've had with the three invisible forces that make or break the team. We will be talking a little about approaches like growth zone and global disc. This is what we are both certified in. But watch for the second part of this conversation, where we actually talk about what is the basic component, the fundament of sustainable careers. I hope that you will enjoy. Happy listening. We are meeting today to discuss what drives your career forward. But there is a very important second part to the title that says in a sustainable way. Now, this is very important because we've all been through, we've all seen experiences, examples where the career was not sustainable to the extent needed. And this is why we want to discuss today cases and experiences which can help you as a listener to make sure that your career is driven and developed in a sustainable way. I'm having a wonderful guest with me today, Marci Macedo, who will be talking about much of her experience, a really international, amazing path towards the conversation which we are having today. And I'm very happy to welcome you in the episode, Marci.
Thank you for having me, Monika. It's a pleasure to be here with you, being part of your podcast for today. So, my name is Marci Macedo, and my professional journey has been marked by transformation and resilience. I started my career in operational roles, and I grew into global management positions. But beyond titles, what really shaped me was the constant search for growth and the ability to reinvent myself after challenge in both personal and professional ways. And how am I into growth zone? So I believe that stepping into growth zone means embracing challenge with clarity, courage, and a sense of psychological safety. It's about creating an environment where we can be honest with our goals, take bold actions, and feel supported in learning from both success and setbacks. This mindset allows us to grow continuously and hold ourselves accountable in a meaningful way.
Marci, I'm so happy to have you as a guest because before this episode, we also talked about your amazing experience and your amazing career. I am quite convinced that having to work in a company that's one of the major players in a prestigious industry, you've been a part of various situations relating to motivation and team performance. I would love to hear some of the stories that you have decided to share with us today.
I've started in this company. I was working in the very operational section, right? And then in 7 years, I achieved the global management position. But that was a journey that required me a lot of resilience and knowing what I wanted for myself and for my career. That helped me to climb this ladder step by step because I had a goal, right? So that was really important for me to have my mindset where I would like to go. And also in regards to my daily motivation, right? I was motivating myself on a daily basis because I knew where I would like to be. I knew where I was at the moment. I knew what I was capable of, and I knew where I would like to be in the future, right? So that was really important for me. And for that, you need to be accountable to yourself. You need to have clarity of what you want,
Hmm.
and you need to have courage to build your own path, to build your own career, following and being true to yourself and your values. Yeah.
Today, we are highlighting the aspect of sustainable careers. So, how do you want to position this in your program?
I believe the sustainability is like keeping this life work balance, right? Because we need to think about our personal life when we want to achieve our career, our goals. We really need to have this work life balance in order to have sustainability because you need to be psychologically well in order to sustain your career, to sustain your goals. So, and then for that, you really need to have this life work balance. And because we tend to focus so much in our work and then we just leave our life behind. And then if something major happens, we just don't know where we are at. We just feel lost. I'm talking from my own experience because I was so focused on my career to achieve the title I wanted, the salary I wanted. Then when happened something major to myself, I didn't know how to be myself. I didn't know who I was at that moment in time. So I had to discover myself, to rebuild myself, to think who I am without that specific part from my life, like my work, which is really important because your work fulfills your life, fulfills your dream. You can pay for your holidays, for the things that you want to have in life, right? You can pay for your dreams. But in the same way, you need to have sustainability in your way of living. And the only way of having sustainability in your work and life is having the balance in between these two words. And normally we don't do it. We just really look for our goals professionally and we forget our life. I think the sustainability is really finding this life work balance because we have a space for both. And then when you are happy at home, you're going to be happy at work. If you're achieving your things, your goals at work, you're going to be happy at home. So one thing complements the other. So we cannot just really focused. I'm talking from my own experience because I was really, I consider myself a workaholic person. So I was focusing very much in my career. And then I just felt really lost when I had to stop to work because I didn't know who I was anymore. I was only, I felt that my own identity, my only identity was my job. And I didn't know how to be with myself, with my thoughts, how to rest. I was feeling guilty, even though I came from a major health problem. I was feeling guilty for being at home. So we really need to find this balance. That is the sustainable way of building a career, of building and combining with your life. I think is finding this work-life balance or life-working balance.
This is a strong, impactful story that you have shared, and this is why I personally believe that sharing it with many others might really let us think. Now, I'm also thinking about the growth zone and what it enables us to do. We are talking about team performance. We are talking about the motivation, yes, the accountability, the autonomy, the mastery, the purpose, yes, about the persistence, yes, about the determination. In fact, we also talk about the role of the environment, how much important it is that you really have courage to share vulnerability. Yes, that there is an inclusive environment where you can collaborate, and at the same time, no tool will tell you who you are. Yes, no tool will tell you
No.
which part of life is the most important or what is your personal purpose in life. So I think that's a very valid conversation, and that's a very deep way to think about that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, as I said, we really focus in our career and we just forget about our lives, right? Because in the end of the day, we are just human beings and we really need to fulfill our life as well, right? Go to work, performance really well, and then get home, be able to rest and feel yourself, be with your family, and enjoy your moments outside work. And then tomorrow you're gonna be able to go back there and give your best again and get your best performance. If you feeling well at home, right? If you feel loved, if you feel that your family is around you, if you have everyone together, I think it's a very important part.
Yes, I agree with you. At the same time, what I'm thinking is a specific psychological aspect of the growth zone. Yes, so we talk about some environments, some groups. For example, from the business perspective, we talk about a team, we talk about a company, but also from a private perspective, we might talk about a family. Yes, and following your way of thinking, I'm just. It makes me think now that actually, these very same aspects would be applicable to a family life. Yes, for example, I might be asking myself, what's my purpose in my, let's say, for example, family life. Yes, what am I accountable
Mm-hmm.
for in our little
Exactly.
world here? What is my area of autonomy? What do I want to master? Yes, these will be maybe the same questions that we might find useful in connecting work and life. I personally think there are plenty of useful approaches that we have in business. We just sometimes forget to to use them for our
Yeah.
personal purposes as well.
Yes, I think it's really important, and I believe global disk is for everyone, right? We can use in companies or for a person, for an individual that wants to know a little bit more about themselves, because as we are talking here, like we cannot simply detach our personal life from our professional life, and we want to thrive in both sides, right? So I don't want to have my best performance in life and just fail at home. Because when I come back, when I leave my work, I'm coming back home. So I want to get into a safe place where I can feel safe. And next day I go back to my work, because there I will have a lot of different ideas, different people, people that will agree with me, people that will disagree with me, people that may like to work with me, people may not like to work with me. So I need to have this strong um, bounds from home, from our personal life, in order to get out and achieve my best outside in any company, in any goal that you need to achieve. I think the balancing between these both words is, these two words is the best thing that we can achieve. And then, because
Absolutely.
all these things, right? If you think about your family, so your kids needs to be accountable to you as you have to be accountable to them as well.
That's how
So
the
when
trust
you
increases.
exactly
Absolutely.
exactly. So when you are asking them to do something, you need to have clarity in what you're saying for them to understand what you want, because you are leading them as well. It's a leadership role we have
Mm.
here, outside. We are leading our lives, or to achieve a professional goal, or to achieve a personal goal. So it's the same way of thinking, just in different environments. Of course, at home involves love, and at work involves competition, right? So it's two words that they are completely different, but we can use the same structure to achieve better goals, good goals, or bigger goals in both of them. So if you think about your life or about your career, you need to have all the um, growth zone motivational main course, right? Which is accountability, clarity, courage, psychological safety, autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So our family is our own business, is our first business. And
I
then
love that,
we need,
Marci.
yeah,
I'm actually very surprised the direction our conversation is taking, but I resonate with
yeah,
this very much. I also believe that, in a family, you basically want the same. You want to be accepted as a person who you are, yes?
mm-hmm.
You want to
Yeah,
be able to address a topic which is uncomfortable. Yes, we are talking here about
yes,
vulnerability. You want to be able to have courage, yes, to take risks which will bring results which are positive for all of you. You also want to collaborate. I would even build on this competition. Yes, I think there is a lot of competition in the family. For example, when you think about kids competing for attention of the parents, or when you think about who will eat the last cake on on the
exactly.
table.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Our families are also competitive environments, not in the same sense. Yes, our results are not measured, but maybe the sustainability part is important here. Well, I love it, Marci.
It's important. Yeah, Monica, I since December last year, I really started to change my way of thinking about a lot of things, right? Because as I mentioned, I had this major health issue, which made me stop, not because I wanted, because if I didn't had this problem, I would be there working as a, ah, yes, I would be there doing the same things. But now I'm taking a step back and trying to think um, in a different way, right? From a different perspective. I can still achieving my goals, but I can achieve my goals in a different way. So, and then going back to myself, coming back inside of my thoughts and thinking, what can I do different from now? Where can I find balance in between these two words? I think is a very important part for me now. So sorry, just dragging you into this, completely changing the way. of we start talking about everything
Mm-hmm,
and get in
mm-hmm.
this
I think
direction.
now we are talking in an authentic way. Yes, really sharing our
Yeah, yeah.
thoughts. That's the way how it works.
Yeah, so I really think that yes, we can achieve and thrive professionally, but we need to have a very strong um, base at home in our personal life. We need to have a very strong base in our personal life in order to thrive professionally. And sometimes we just forget it. I really want to tell people that's possible. It's possible. So just think about your family, think about how you would like to be them to be with you when you're around, if they feel comfortable, if they feel psychologically safe talking to you when you are at home with them, right? It's the same purpose when you are at work, right? You lead a team. You need that people to feel comfortable around you. You need them to be themselves. You need them to talk safely with you. Otherwise, you won't achieve growth. Otherwise, you won't get anywhere because people will just close themselves inside of their little shell and they will be there because they're waiting
Mm-hmm.
for you to allow them to do something, to allow them to think differently, and then just kills everything. So, yeah.
Yes. So when I think about you working on, the topic of developing careers, which seems to be like the central point, I appreciate you so much asking the questions. Yes, what we need to consider to have a full picture, not to just a one-sided picture. So just like you said, any career is built on a base, on a solid foundation of personal values, personal goals, and the sustainability also includes the life and work. Life and work a balance, or the fit, we could say life and work fit, how they fit each other. So I appreciate this very much. Marci, if I ask you a final question, um, we've just gone through this amazing process of insights on how groups function, how individuals function, how we can touch that, somehow measure all this. Now, when you think about making a first step into building the career or rebuilding the career with the background of this knowledge, what would it be?
When restarting your career, I think I'm talking to myself now, right? I'm starting small. I'm starting from the beginning and then I'm accessing myself. How do I feel? What do I want to achieve? What is my main goal to achieve? So, and then answering those questions, you know where you are, where you want to be, and when you want to be there. So, just be kind to yourself, right? Because I think the first step is awareness. So, once you are um, aware of yourself, what you want to do, what is your purpose in life, what is your purpose professionally, so you can move towards where you want to be in your career and life. So just fight for what you think is the best for you. And remember, success is not about position or titles. It's about in create a space where you and others can grow with respect for you, for your own journey and your values.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Marcy, for being my guest today.
Thank you so much for having me, Monica, and I hope we can talk more about all those things. Of course, I'm just starting with that. And as I said, I'm starting small and I'm really glad to be here and learning hearing all your inputs and also your having your knowledge, having your experience, I think will be a very good thing for me as well. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate you and everything.
Thank you, Marci. So, in the conversation, we've been mentioning some specific biomarkers of team performance as per the growth zone model. And then we understood that looking at your life as a whole, we could consider the same approach for your personal setting. So, let me again mention these as a summary. That's autonomy, accountability, mastery, and purpose. These are the motivational drivers. And then courage, vulnerability, collaboration, inclusivity. These are elements of psychological safety. And the final aspect of a high performing team would be managing the cognitive diversity of its members, while on the individual level for sustainable careers, this would probably mean finding a profession or a working environment which suits your cognitive preferences and doesn't require you to work completely out of your comfort zone on a daily basis. It just costs too much energy. If you are curious to discover more, let me recommend some other episodes to you, like Psychological Safety in a Virtual Team, 4 Steps to Mastery, and a conversation with Katarzyna Romanowicz, episode number 3, or Setting Goals for Purposeful Life, doing it in a way that makes sense for you. That's episode number 21. If you are a Polish speaker, I'm also glad to invite you to listening to my Polish channel O Krok do Przodu. For example, the episode on trust, zaufanie, kapitał lidera. Odcinek 112 znajdziecie na okrokdoprzodu.pl/112. I'm so glad to be bringing the Growth 2.0 toolset to Poland, including both Global Disc and Growth Zone for team performance and psychological safety. If you are a Polish speaker, let me invite you to a licensing session where you can also learn how to apply these tools into your work with teams and individuals. Please find more information on the episode landing page, which is a stepahead.pro/022, episode number 22. Okay, thanks for being together today and glad to stay in touch.